Welcome back to the Vike Nite podcast. I'm Alaana here with Phil and Lucas as always. We're in our awesome new setup today. What a time it is to be a Vikings fan. The Vikings take out a division rival with the return of our quarterback, McCarthy, and the NFC North, in which the Vikings are 2-0, is still anyone's to take. It's Vike Nite.
Let's talk Vikes.
It's Vike Nite.
Nightmare scenario. A little less horizontal, a little bit more vertical. Shut up.
It's Vike Nite.
Well, it is a beautiful thing that we get to talk about today. The Vikings took down and beat down the Lions with a 27-24 win at Ford Field in their home, in their litter box, finally snapping their 5-game losing streak between Minnesota and Detroit. Finally. Halloween may be over, but the Vikings were out for blood. After scoring on their first 2 possessions, the offense kept their foot on the gas all day. The Lions did not look ready for the pressure that they faced from the Vikings defense, who had an attitude that seemed to be, we're not allowing you to win this game. They had 10 penalties, the Lions did. And Jared Goff in particular seemed to be feeling that heat. He got sacked 5 times. All 3 phases were clicking for the Vikings in all 4 quarters. Not everything was perfect, but really what matters is not that. It's the return of McCarthy, who does not lose in Michigan. We can see that now, as well as guys like Andrew Van Ginkel coming back. They all led us to beat one of the best teams in the league and put us right back into division contention. Another player who was back making a huge impact was Aaron Jones, which leads us right into injury updates, Phil.
Yeah, so Aaron Jones, he went down with that shoulder injury in the third quarter. It's believed to be a minor AC joint sprain, and listening to him in the post-game presser, he said he'll be good to go for Baltimore, so hopefully he gets there. We had Theo Jackson that was placed into the concussion protocol earlier this morning. Kevin O'Connell said he was just showing some mild symptoms, so hopefully he can work through that as well. Josh Oliver and CJ Ham are expected to return to practice, which is massive for us. We also have Ty Chandler and Gavin Bartholomew expected to return for Week 10 against Baltimore. So we kind of miraculously, guys, came out of this game pretty dang healthy, which after a game of this magnitude is great news for us. So very pleased in that department.
I think going into this Baltimore game, they're the healthiest that they've been all year. So we're at full strength now. Let's go.
Absolutely. Quick thoughts for me on this game, guys. I thought so much of my mental well-being was riding on this game. It's been tough recently, all around. I'm sure for all of us in life. I feel like a loss yesterday would have just compounded my anguish. I don't even know. Despite us never trailing after that Jefferson touchdown, the first drive, Laporta was going beast mode and got that, it was like a 40-yard touchdown or so. Come back and answer with the JJ touchdown. After that, we didn't trail for the rest of the game, but I just knew that Detroit would fight to the bitter end, and I was absolutely sick to my stomach in that fourth quarter when Jameson Williams catches that touchdown. Man, I just stand by my thoughts that a win in Detroit here could be considered a turning point for this team. The all-around team effort, I think, is so encouraging to see, and at moments genuinely filled my soul. Defense, offense, and special teams all made great plays. We're back, baby.
Indeed, we are so back. The Vikings just needed to give us something to believe in, and boy, did they ever. I'm ready to get my heart broken all over again. I love this 2025 Vikings team. I can't wait to keep watching this story unfold with all of you.
Yes, it feels as though the rest of the season is still the Vikings to take with this new life breathed into them after that win. It feels like everything and anything is possible now in a positive way. And there's something to say about us Vikings fans. I saw a lot of people clowning on us for saying, how do you think or saying to us, why do you think you can beat the Lions after that Chargers loss? Obviously, we have JJ McCarthy back, but people still think we're delusional. And all I have to say is you don't understand how we function, okay? But let's get to awards where we can look closer at the players in this game. We're going to start with Pride of Valhalla. That's an award given to players who exemplify Viking toughness and spirit. Last week for the Doggone It Award, I said you could take your pick, and I'm super delighted to say that this week you can kind of take your pick for the Pride of Valhalla Award. So, Phil, let's start with your offensive pride.
Well, Alaana, I'd have to totally agree. It's kind of a reverse type situation yet again here. My pride is obviously going to man of the hour, JJ McCarthy. Guys, you could just tell that this man was completely locked in. We throw up the pic here of him pregame in Ford Field. He's on the sideline, sitting on the bench all by himself, and he's back into that meditation type zone. He was not going to let this opportunity pass him by. He finishes the day 14 for 25, 143 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, had that awesome rushing touchdown again, and then 1 INT, which in my opinion should not have been. I think it was a 50-50 ball, and it should have stayed with Naylor.
We were all upset about that.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, despite being sacked 5 times this game, I thought he just maintained cool-headed play in a close game throughout, which is massive. I think the biggest thing that we saw was seeing his command of the offense and just him showing significant improvement from his first 2 games in the season. I mean, this is literally what we've been asking for all year, or just from McCarthy at least, to have competent quarterback play and just do enough for us to win a game. And we did it against a massive divisional opponent and, like you said, one of the best teams in the NFL. I'd like to see just him work a little bit more on his touch when he's flushed from the pocket. And I think that's something that KOC can work on with him. And, you know, that's just why it's so huge having him gain this experience from playing these games and having that in-game experience. That'll all be ironed out, I believe, later on in the season. It's just huge seeing the better decision-making. He was making better throws. The emotion he plays with is something I don't think we've seen in a very long time from a Vikings quarterback.
No.
And I'm talking like Teddy Bridgewater type hype. When you would watch Teddy play, he would get the guys around him so hyped up. And I remember watching them in the locker room after the game, and it's just Teddy had that energy about him that I think we've just been craving and wanting to see for so long. And I think it's a beautiful thing to see that we have this guy with this moxie and this dog in him that I believe is going to be a really great quarterback from us. He showed that this game.
He overall looked pretty comfortable, despite some of the goofier things that happened. There were so many iconic JJ moments from this game. Like we were talking about the meditation. I believe this was 2.5 hours before the game started, and they just like zoomed in on him. Like,
yes,
super
I love
far.
that. Yeah.
That is my pinned tweet. If I send that picture, no, I'm locked in. He had that clunky gritty, but it was still super fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think last episode we said JJ, all he does is beat divisional opponents, and so far we've been proven correct. So
absolutely, this guy really inspired me. And if you haven't listened to his post-game presser, I'd encourage you to. Just hearing the emotion coming out of him, talking about how rough these last 5 weeks have been and how much it killed him just not being out there with those guys that he loves and appreciates. And I think that really came from the heart.
There is no doubt to me that there is a authentic backing of JJ McCarthy from this team. They really do believe in him. They really do want to get behind him and push him to that next level of excellence. So it's amazing to see. I love the support for this quarterback. And the reason that they support him is the work that he's been putting in. The outside noise is that this guy is a bust and he's injury prone. Mm-hmm. On the inside, they know how hard he works. They know how bad he wants to be on the field, and they know how great they're going to be as he continues to develop. So I think the Vikings are very dangerous with the belief in this young quarterback. So I would just love to see that continue to develop as the season goes on.
You can hear that and see that in the locker room speech, especially.
It's special. It's really a special connection this team has. Moving on to my offensive pride, Aaron Jones coming back from injury. This Lions game really was another classic installment of the roller coaster drama that is the Aaron Jones experience. He did have 78 yards rushing on less than 10 attempts. That means he had 8.7 yards per carry. Every time he touched the ball, it seemed like he was gashing the Lions defense for a big first down. I think when he's fully healthy, he is the running back one. He is the more elusive, faster back that looks great coming out of the backfield, especially on passing plays as well. The problem is that he just can't seem to stay healthy. In combination with KOC being very protective of Aaron Jones, it seems like anytime he's even minorly banged up, he's being pulled from the game. So you just never know when that time is going to come where Aaron Jones is just out for the rest of the game. Sounds like it's just a short-term injury, and he avoided anything that will keep him out for weeks to come. So I just feel nervous watching Aaron Jones. I love him when he's out there, but how long can he stay out there is the question. Do we need more help from our running back department?
Right. I was really surprised by what we saw in those first 3 quarters from Aaron. I mean, I got him on the bench in my fantasy team, and, I think everyone here is expecting Jordan Mason to kind of continue those RB1 duties, but man, did he look spry and just being able to quick on his legs and making those cuts and whatnot. I do have to agree that I think based on what we saw from, when he is healthy, he should be that RB1 here for us. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, I got for my pride of Valhalla, Moneybags himself, Blake Cashman. Gosh,
Row your boat, King.
He was playing like a man possessed, played every snap and was all over the field, led the team with 14 tackles. He had 6 solo and 8 assists, had that TFL as well as a massive forced fumble on David Montgomery that was scooped up by Harrison Smith. Man, guys, if Harrison would have been able to just turn back the clock and run that back in, I think that would have been so beautiful. But, geez, guys, I was really proud of our linebacking group this game. I think the Gink effect is real and elevated the play of a lot of those guys. Vikings have found the formula, as you mentioned, with Cashman and Eric Wilson. I think subbing in Ivan Pace to wreak havoc on the blitz is how we should move forward here. Collectively, our linebacking core, yeah, they played the best game of their season. I was really pleased with what we saw there.
Without a doubt, I love our group. From the inside backers of Cashman, Wilson, Pace coming in as a change of pace kind of linebacker, and then the guys on the edge. You just love the development of Dallas Turner, Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel being back healthy is just incredible. Our linebacking core, for my money, is the best in the league.
3-0 when Gink plays, by the way.
Tell me that doesn't mean something.
Right.
Also impressive on the defensive side was our defensive interior. Our much criticized defensive interior, specifically our 2 highest paid guys, Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. They have been getting dogged in the national media for not getting it done for the salaries that they're making. Well, they proved us wrong on Sunday. Javon Hargrave especially had 7 pressures of Goff. He hit him twice, including a sack. He had 8 tackles, including 2 set tackles for loss as well. The Gravedigger heard the noise, and he responded in a huge way. Him and Jonathan Allen combined for 13 pressures on Goof. They got to him quick with interior pressure, which forced him off his spot all day. There is nothing that affects a quarterback more than getting to him with that quick interior pressure. And what we saw as a result was a significantly less efficient and less accurate Jared Goff. We really got to him, and it was amazing to see.
You love to see him throwing balls into the ground.
It's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we had smiles on our faces pretty much the entire time. On to the Doggone It Awards. These are given to players who made a costly mistake or maybe a move that just makes us say, doggone it, man, we're having such a good game. Don't ruin this for us. My message to the first doggone it recipient was count your days.
Thank you, because I think he does need to count his days if he keeps making boneheaded plays like this. Tavier Thomas, 2 stupid penalties on special teams that just grinded my gears. And Lucas, it happened again. 99-yard Miles Price kick return and gets called back after Tavier has a stupid little hold. And
It was a little hold, too.
it was. It's like at the same time we've been saying this for, it's like Groundhog's Day right now with this special teams penalties. It's just killing me. I think Miles Price has been one of our best players, like just all around. Like he's been incredible. I think he had 164 return yards this game, which was amazing. But yeah, so 99-yard touchdown gets called back. And then on another kick return, he was, Tavier Thomas was flagged for running out of bounds and just not returning. And I'm sorry, as a viewer, it just seems like stuff like that is so baseline to the point where if you're going to get pushed out of bounds, and I feel like if you're primarily playing special teams, that has to be something that they talk about quite a bit. It should be pretty obvious for you to just run back in bounds right away. So he gets those 2 dumb penalties, and gone it to Tavier Thomas.
If you remember, in the offseason, we brought in Tavier Thomas specifically for his special teams prowess. I believe he was playing for New England, and he was like an all-pro special teamer kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And that really was his role. We weren't expecting him to fill in any of our cornerback spots or any of our safety spots. He does play in the defensive secondary, but really he's a special teams ace. He's supposed to be this guy that comes in and leads that unit, and I think it's been a little bit of a letdown from Tavier this year. He's played amazing in the past for other teams. Maybe he still has something for us, but in this game, it was just not good enough, and he made those crucial mistakes. I so badly want Miles Price to break that long one and have it stand. You could tell that Kevin O'Connell really wants that, giving him a game ball. You know that there is a desire to get that man the ball and let him go score. My doggone it went to a player that we love, but this game needs to be criticized, and that's Jonathan Grenard. The ugliest moment of the game for me from any player was when he jumped offsides on 4th and 5. The score was 24-17 with the Vikings leading in the 4th quarter. Luckily, this was the drive that resulted in a blocked field goal, so it didn't end up being too costly for the Vikings. But that is we say boneheaded mistake there. That is just embarrassing. He did miss a clean shot on Goff. The Lions quarterback was able to duck under a soaring Grenard and step up and find his man downfield. It felt like on that play, he was going for the big hit on Goff, trying to take his head off. And really, I think if he could have that play back, I bet he goes lower towards the midsection of Goff so that Goff isn't able to just duck underneath his sack attempt. So I see things going better. I've been saying all year for Grenard. I really do think it's coming. You see him relentless in pursuit. He recorded 4 tackles, including 1 tackle for loss. So he didn't have a bad game per se, just a couple of bad moments that had you saying doggone it. So expect more from our bona fide leader on defense. We expect to see great things from John G in the very near future.
Well, let's do our mystery awards this week, guys. This is where we each come up with our own award. We guess each other's. We have 4 this week. Phil.
Yeah, so I had a couple down, and I was gonna just choose between one or the other, but I will go. I'll just rattle off this first one here. I have the Empire Strikes Back award. Any guesses, guys, on who the Empire might be?
Well, okay. That changes it for me. I had a couple guesses, but if you're saying who the Empire is, I guess maybe we talked about the linebackers. I was either thinking the linebackers or Levi Drake Rodriguez for that moment when we all popped for that blocked field goal attempt.
Do you have any idea?
I think the empire might just refer to the team as a whole, and
Ooh, okay.
specifically the criticism that we've had of roster construction. I think Kwesi is looking at this team and saying, this is the empire I've built. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go out there and dominate teams like the Lions. So I give this to Kwesi constructing his empire.
That's a good guess.
Okay, well, maybe it should be called the Empire Strikes Again, because the Empire, guys, is the empire of the refs. I'm bringing it up again. Okay, we're doing this again, guys.
I
I'm gonna
hardly
do it
want
again,
to, but
okay?
I get it.
I'm sick and tired of, it seems like it's been 3 weeks in a row now, right? Where there is some kind of a play that seems definitive and that it will stand in the Vikings' favor, and they have the analysts come on and they're like, yeah, it looks that way for sure. And then it gets turned over. In my opinion, the most egregious one of the day was that Justin Jefferson catch. They call it a catch on the field, right? And they go back to show it, and he clearly, this is the best wide receiver in the world right now. His hands are underneath the ball. He has it. I did not see it touch a blade of grass. And they're going to call that incomplete. But then they're going to call the interception on Jalen Naylor, where he has it on his leg. And it seems like it's a 50-50 ball. He's grabbing it away from him. And, yeah, exactly.
That's how long the ball was on the ground for him during that pick.
Yep.
Dragged across the turf.
It was obvious.
Right. Visual demonstration here. It was very obvious. So it's just, again, these it has to be one or the other. And it seems like the refs are calling it against us most of the time,
Just
if
whatever's
not every time.
convenient to F the Vikes. And
Exactly. And I don't want to be that guy that's like, always dogging on the refs, but come on. I had to mention it because it was just a really bad call, in my opinion.
let's just get through a game without asking ourselves, what is a catch? I just don't want to have the conversation.
Right. I don't want to have this
let
conversation anymore.
come up on the podcast anymore. We're done with it.
We're done with it. So let me get to a more happy award here. We're going with the Kumbaya Award.
I think it's got to be Kevin O'Connell just getting everybody all back in sync. How difficult must it have been flying home from LA in the middle of the night, landing? Everybody was probably mad at each other. I know how I get on long vacations, sometimes a little irritable in airports.
Yeah.
Imagine the vibes were low, and he had 9 days to turn that thing around, get this unit back together. They all probably gathered around the campfire and sang Kumbaya. And who was plucking the guitars? Kevin O'Connell, I think. What do you think?
Well, I wasn't sure at first because I didn't see any peaceful Vikings out there. But I have to say, maybe JJ McCarthy's iconic meditation that we were talking about before the game. That's where my mind went.
Okay, both really good guesses. And Lucas, they might as well... I think they probably were around a campfire because if you guys listened, they actually, Kevin O'Connell, well, let me tell you guys who I'm giving this award to.
Please.
It was going to be the captains as a whole, but it is Kevin O'Connell just for the sense that he did, on his own accord, brought in the captains of the team on Saturday night.
I didn't know that.
Each captain of the team. He had them address the team as a whole, and he said, you guys can talk about pretty much whatever it is you want to say to the team and whatever it is that that's been on your mind and stuff about what we can fix culture-wise or just get back on track. They talked to Jefferson. He said that they said, what did you say in that? He said, I said a lot. He said, I said a lot of things to the team.
A little airing of grievances. I like that. And get it all out in the open.
And I don't even...
Let's turn this thing around.
Right. And it might have been grievances, but I think it was more so just encouragement from our leaders on the team. And what a time to do that when we're on this 2-game skid. And I'm seeing articles saying like, oh man, there's frustration and disgruntlement in the Vikings office and it's the vibes aren't high there. So to have these guys come in and, McCarthy came in and talked about how he's been sleeping on his college bed away from his newborn son just to be locked in for this game. This dude is letting the baby
He's
cry.
a little kooky. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I want my quarterback to have a little crazy in him.
He's got some kind of sickness, right? Rome does.
he's down with the sickness. But no, I mean, McCarthy was letting him know, guys, like, I am so locked in for this. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know exactly what he said, but hey, it sure as hell fired up the team when you see how they performed on offense, defense, special teams, minus Tavier Thomas. So it's, yeah, like I think that's just an amazing thing to do as a head coach, I guess. It's just in that moment, it was huge. And the players talking about it, it did seem like it had an effect on them, that conversation. So shout out to Kevin O'Connell. He gets the Kumbaya Award. Get this team back together, meshed up, get those gears turning. It's
incredible.
It's beautiful.
My mystery award this week is a play on the locker room speech. If you haven't seen it yet, please go watch it. It's so good, motivating, inspiring, all the good things. This is the Like a Dog in the Street award. JJ McCarthy said this to break down the huddle, which gives you a hint that the winner of this is not McCarthy.
Oh, that was going to be my guess.
I loved that moment. Is that their new thing? Is that what they worked on?
I don't know. Is that
I
a
don't
thing?
know.
I've never heard that before.
I called these guys and I'm like, watch this right now.
It is really good. Okay, so my only guess was JJ McCarthy. So let's throw out another one, a true dog. Let's say Eric Wilson, just because he didn't get a pride but absolutely deserved one. I know he had 2 sacks. He was a menace once again in the middle of the defense.
Oh, that's a good one. Because that was probably going to go another linebacker. Let's go with Like a Dog in the Street.
O-line played really good too. I mean, it just felt like they were paving ways in the run game.
You know what? I'm sorry,
One of those
Lucas.
big
I'm
guys.
gonna just say O-line. I think they're in the street. They're dogs, and
be all of 'em.
despite him getting sacked 5 times, I think they held up well against. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson really didn't do much until the latter half of that game when it was kind of getting away from him. So
Who you got? Who you got? What is
I like both of those guesses, but Justin Jefferson is like a dog in the street. He started with that one-handed touchdown catch. He's the
was sick.
king of arm extension. His celebration, simply just staring down the fans. He, like JJ McCarthy.
I'm sorry. Let me real
Oh,
quick.
no,
butt in
please,
here.
please.
This is what they were looking into this. The tiki mask, Justin Jefferson, face of fear.
How about that video of him
Insane.
walking right by Amik Robinson? That's just
Yes, I
chewing
have
his
that.
ass, talking all that shit, in
Chirping
his
at
ear,
him, chirping
and
at
Jefferson
him.
just walks on by. This is a man on a mission. This is a dude as serious as can be. He's only there to win games. That's really the only thing he has interest less.
He wanted it more than any of those Lions players on the field. The JJs are back.
I think so. I think just the competitiveness. I think we reached to a deeper place than the Lions could ever go. And that's kind of what everybody says about them, is that they just have that winning spirit, that fight. I think the Vikings have a little bit more fight, and I'm excited to watch them go the rest of the way. Guys, I got a fun one for you. Let's give out the Exorcist Award. Wow. Who's the exorcist? Who exorcised their demons on Sunday?
Wow.
So, okay. I was going to say,
You could go a couple ways with this one. Like, who is the exorcist?
well, I was going to go with when
Not the demon, but the exorcist. Go ahead.
When I think about Exorcist, I mean, there's a clip going around of JJ during Kevin O'Connell when he's about to give him the game ball, and he's in there like licking his. He looked.
He looked
like-
scary.
It horrified me almost. I'm like, ooh, what the.
I'm
Who
glad
is
he's our
this
quarterback.
guy?
That guy is intense.
So is he the Exorcist, or is this
Perhaps.
okay, Alaana?
I'm going to say, in a stroke of redemption, Jalen Naylor looked at the Lions and said, "The power of Christ compels you," and caught that game-sealing first down catch.
Okay.
I don't know if I love the play call on that last play of the game to Jalen Naylor. I loved
It
that it
was-
worked,
yeah,
but
he actually caught it, which
like
was like
a
sweet. But
20-yard fade downfield, like where's just the quick hitter right at the sticks? Just
Right.
how you doing? Keep it moving. Why did it have to be so stressful? Why do we have to make it so hard? It wasn't Jalen Naylor. Thank God he came down with that catch. Shout out our guy. It was not our crazy possessed quarterback. It was, in fact, our brilliant defensive coordinator,
Okay.
Brian Flores. And the demons that he's exercising are his past performances against the Lions specifically. Since Brian Flores has become our defensive coordinator, I want to read you something here. Here are the 4 games leading up to this game versus the Lions.
Okay.
The first game in 2023, he allowed 300, or I should say his defense allowed 389 yards. They gave up 30 points, and they lost. In the second game of 2023, 381 yards, 30 points, and a loss. Then we go to last year, 2024, a year that they went 14-3, but they played the Lions and lost to the Lions 3 times, including 391 yards, 391 yards, 31 points, and another loss. The second game of that year was 394 yards allowed.
Wow.
31 points
Wow.
and a loss. So consistently, the Lions are hanging up over 30 on us, getting well into the high 300s for total yards. So we needed something to change. We needed to get to Goff. We needed to stop their running game. And that's what they did. This Sunday, they only allowed 305 yards, and a lot of that is in garbage time when the Lions are desperately trying to come back from a 2-score deficit late in the fourth quarter. They only allowed 24 points, and I think this is the biggest thing. 5 for 17 on third down. They did not let the Lions convert any back-breaking third and longs like we have seen in a few weeks prior. And the biggest thing of all, they got that win. And I really do think it was the defense that was the catalyst for that victory. So shout out, Brian Flores. You did it. You beat the Lions.
I love that. We had to
That's really
throw
great.
Brian Flores in there, man. He really put together a great game plan, had those guys ready to play. I mean, Detroit had a whole bye week, and I know we had a mini bye, but still, geez, our guys were on fire.
Dan Campbell, I believe, said we did everything we could to lose that game.
Right. And
But
they
I give
did.
the Vikings a bit more credit, I think.
I think so, too. I mean, this is one of the most high-powered offenses that we've seen in a very long time in the league. And like you said, to be able to exercise those demons, shut them down, hold them for the lowest yardage total in the Brian Flores era, get the win. I think it's huge. I think he might have a formula here for when they come back to the bank later in the year.
I'm excited to play him again. Let's play him 2 more times.
Yeah.
Let's whip up on him on that last game of the year. And then, hey, we'll see you in the playoffs, too. We have the formula. We're going to get to you.
We're not afraid of them anymore.
I am afraid of you.
And I think they weren't afraid of us enough.
Absolutely not.
Given the trade deadline tomorrow, Lucas and Phil thought it'd be a good idea to do a special report on a few players they believe could help this team out. We think it's valid to extend this episode just a little bit given the circumstances.
As I said last week, I think this game carries huge implications. And with the Vikings pulling off the win, I wouldn't be surprised now if the Vikings become buyers instead of sellers at the trade deadline here. Despite us still being in 4th in the NFC North, we're firmly in the race and just 1 game behind the Bears, Packers, and Lions. So we have a few areas of need. Lucas, who do you have for one player that you think we can bring in, have a immediate impact?
This one might be a bit of a long shot dream, but if I could have any player from a different team on our roster, I'd look for Devon Achane from the Miami Dolphins to come join the Minnesota Vikings. This is a 3rd-year running back for them. He was a 3rd-round pick out of Texas A&M in 2023. What we saw coming out of college was elite 4.32 40-yard dash speed at the draft combine. He has elite catching abilities, top-tier speed, and elusiveness in the open field. And I think if he was paired with Jordan Mason, we would rival the Lions combo at running back, if not be the better duo. The only issue that I have with our current setup at running back is I just don't know if we can trust Aaron Jones to stay on the field and stay healthy. If we brought in Achane, we'd have a bona fide superstar running back and somebody that we can go forward with for years to come. There is still 1 year left on his rookie deal, so that could be a prove-it year for Minnesota next year, and I would be more than happy to pay an elite running back, top-tier running back money just to have that kind of weapon, especially a guy that can catch the ball too. He would be a fun little gadget player for Kevin O'Connell to mess around with and scheme some stuff up for. So I would love a back like A-Chain.
I think it'd be huge for McCarthy to have a back that can, get at least 5 yards per carry and whatnot during this developmental phase for him. To have a superstar running back, as you said, would just be huge for us and huge for him as the leader of our team. I have now talking about quarterbacks here. Our precious Ginger Prince, he is out for the season. So there's been reports that Vikings are looking to add a veteran quarterback to the roster. So I did some looking around, and there is one guy that's a little bit familiar to all of us, the Miracle Man himself, or the one who threw the miracle, I should say, Case Keenum. This is a 13-year vet. He's the third string right now on the Bears roster. He had that magical 13-3 season in 2017, as I mentioned, with the Minneapolis Miracle. And I think he could be attainable for a late-round pick swap. This guy's a dog, and I'll always have a soft spot for Case Keenum. And I believe that Kevin O'Connell, any quarterback that comes in that room, is instantly elevated just by having him as their leader and mentor. So Case could very well be an option for us. Should it happen, I would not be mad. Lucas, do you have any thoughts on that?
I love Case Keenum. It'd be cool to see him back in the room, talk about a dog in the streets. That guy is a competitor. He's got that fire. He's got that spirit. And I think him and JJ would have a special relationship. So I think that would be a really cool, just another mentor for JJ McCarthy.
Absolutely.
Somebody else that would also assist on offense, another familiar face, Tyler Conklin of the Jets. Originally drafted by the Vikings in 2018. This is a 6'3", 248-pound tight end. He's had a decent career. He's amassed 2,600 yards in his career for 11 touchdowns, but really his huge impact comes in the blocking game. He is a tough physical player, and that is exactly what the Vikings need with injuries to Josh Oliver and CJ Ham. It sounds like those players are coming back, but I don't think that we would be mad about having another great blocker to pave the way for our running backs as well as help out in pass protection. So I would love to see a homecoming for Tyler Conklin. He's in the last year of his expensive deal for the Jets, and I think that we could restructure him, extend him to stay on the Vikings as a solid tight end 2, tight end 3 blocking tight end.
Yeah, let's get him out of New York.
It's just miserable.
Want to be there, yeah. Okay, so for my last player here, I have got a corner who is a pretty speedy guy, Tariq Woolen out of Seattle. Now, apparently he's disgruntled with the team right now. And Seattle, this might also be kind of a long shot. Seattle has said that they may not be willing to move on from him. But, hey, if we could get another speedster out there, combine him with Zaya Rogers, that would be huge. He's 6'4", 210 pounds, ran a 4.26 40 time. At the time, that was the fourth fastest in the combine since 2006.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
That is enticing. A player at that size, 6'4", with long arms, to have that kind of elite speed, that is speed that you normally only get from smaller guys. Isaiah Rogers, I think he's maybe 5'11", and he's one of the fastest players in the league. Tariq Woolen is one of the fastest players in the league. If you have that, then I think what you do is you neutralize a lot of these receivers that we're going against. You're not going to get beat deep if you have corners that can run with anyone. So this guy is incredible. I really hope we can go out and get a player like Tariq Woolen, help solidify that secondary. Maybe a safety, maybe a corner, just somebody come out and help that group.
Absolutely, yeah. You mentioned about how fast Isaiah Rodgers is being under 6 feet, and it sparked something that I read here that he actually, in addition to having that 4th fastest time since 2006, is the fastest time overall for a player over 6 feet tall in that span.
That's incredible.
So
he's a special type of athlete, and it would be awesome to have him on our team. I'd give up a 2nd-round pick for Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, I think so too. I would love to see it.
We'll offer you our finest Gabe Bartholomew.
Exactly. So, yeah, trade deadline is tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But
go make some moves.
Go make some moves, Kwesi. Let's go. Well, Alaana, Lucas, I am just so proud of these guys. I believe this game will spring this team into another gear. I think the thing about Minnesota is that they're never going to be bullied into becoming what other people think about them. It'll stand up for their pride and prove the haters wrong, which is what they did this game. I mean, 9.5-point underdogs, nobody really giving them the time of day. They know who they are, and they know their worth, and they're going to show it for sure. After a shaky first half of the season, we're getting more and more healthy each week. It's just getting better and better for us. The remaining schedule is tough, but a win of this magnitude proves to me what we're capable of. We have got to outplay these refs. We got to remain healthy and just set this game as the standard. Playing at home against Baltimore is huge. US Bank needs to... Let me start again with playing at home at Baltimore there. Sorry, Hank. All right. Playing at home against Baltimore is huge. I think US Bank needs to bring the juice, and I know they will. So, I'm riding high. I feel good. I feel good right now.
Yeah, well, next up, like you said, the Vikings host the Baltimore Ravens at US Bank Stadium. We're looking forward to seeing another game where the Vikings play with passion for all 4 quarters of the game. More of that insane look in J.J. McCarthy's eyes as well. The Ravens are having a down year so far, but should not be underestimated. Ravens, our purple is better than your purple.
I reckon.
Kickoff
Amen.
will be in Minneapolis this Sunday at noon. Let's defend the bank. And I'm going to quote myself. I'm going to quote my own post on X. After the game, I said, as is Vikings fan tradition, I will go from thinking, damn, is our ceiling really 7 to we're going to the Super Bowl. With that, signing off, I'm Alaana.
I'm Phil.
I'm Lucas.
Skull.
Thank you for
baby.
watching.
Subscribe.
It's Vike Nite.
Axel Green.